felt like I would get that in my head, and then every time I would not get one of those seeds, it would just frustrate me. I think we're about to get rolling here for both of our runners. Buane and Fricker are just kicking off right now. And Uncle is just going out for a pack of smokes.
I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Oh, single rupee in that first chest. Oh my goodness. That's the troll. And we got another one in a bush, so hooray, we've got 2 rupees.
The face win, the bush drop, is more valuable than the chest.
Or equally as valuable as the chest. They're both one and the same. So both of our runners here doing the standard start. They're going to go rescue Uncle, open up the... actually pick up the magical floating bush, fall down the hole, aka the Uncle hole, and we'll get to see what it is. We know it's not a sword. So it's got to be something else.
We find the bombs. Chat's favorite.
Indeed. This is going to be really, really interesting here. Having 10 bombs, you'll want to save at least 2 for the end here. You need 1 for the rat to get the key, and they got 3 bombs, but that's going to be completely useless since they have a full stack already. But you need 1 for the wall unless you find the boots, and you need 1 for the rat. So they've got 8 to work with here.
Yeah, but I know I saw Fricker practicing some bomb strats before the race, and I'm pretty sure both of these guys are well versed in them by now. So it should be fun to watch how they go through this.
Absolutely. There's actually a couple of different strats depending upon what you're most comfortable with that you can use. I think a lot of people, including myself, like to use the chest as kind of a pick and then put the bomb on top of it. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, Fricker going for that double throw kind of missed it. Buane was able to get the pretty much insta-kill on the guard.
Yeah, Buane got the he got the throw, and he placed another bomb that was just within the right range there to damage the blue guard and kill him. So that was very nicely done from both runners. Fricker did have to use an extra bomb though, so that'll be something to keep an eye on. He's gonna have 1 less to go through the rest of this dungeon.
Green guard here is one of the more easy ones, especially when it walks down like that. If you just plant the bomb when you walk in the room, when he's walking down, he just walks right into it.
Yeah, we're seeing some nice placement there. Uh-oh, Fricker having that, but that looks like they got a bomb out of the other chest too. If I'm right here in my counting, because they have about 3 more bombs than they would normally have. So we've got a single rupee and 3 bomb drops here at the start. So should be okay for the sewers at this point.
Fricker able to get his health back up since that was getting a little bit worrisome there.
Indeed. And of course, both runners now getting that checkpoint here once they get that big key and rescue Zelda. And be making their way back up and out of Hyrule Castle.
Yep, and the last checkpoint, so to speak, will be when they get to the mantle before the sewers. At that point, if they die, they can respawn there with 3 bombs, which is very valuable if you have some issues and don't have a bomb for key or at.
Indeed. It is time consuming to have to walk back through there, but all of the chests and doors that you opened already will still be open if that happens. So you don't have to really worry too much about, oh, I have to go through and use these 3 bombs just to get through and get the key again. That'll all be taken care of, so.
Yep, and with 6 and 8 bombs, I don't think either of these will have issues with key rat, even though it can be super annoying.
Yeah, I think at this point, if it's going to be anything, it's just going to be annoying there, Mentos. You're just going to have to keep an eye on where that rat goes, where they all shuffle around there in the dark.
I think that's the only part I dislike about Bomb Start as a runner, is the rat.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a hassle. One of the nice things about having this many bombs this early, especially finding those Well, they found 2 of them, but only one of them really helped out. Finding those bombs in those chests is that they're going to have more than enough, I think, to get through Kakariko clear without having to buy more bombs. And probably some of the other clears after that, too, like Mini Moldworm Cave.
And to add to the bomb-tastic nature of the seed, there's some bomb capacity.
Well, they could have used that a little bit ago when they got that extra bomb, and it did nothing.
Buane coming up on our dear friend Key Rat. We'll see how he handles it. Going with the kamikaze strats, which are the easiest way for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think Fricker's going to do the same thing. Oh. Accidentally dropped the bomb there. That picks up the key. So we get to see what's in these 3 chests over here. Buane getting an extra heart. Go from right to left. We've got 50 rupees, another bomb capacity upgrade, and a little bit of love.
So nothing but garbage in Escape, pretty much. They're leaving here with not a single item worth even tracking.
Indeed. Our wonderful tracker, SAGTG, having a little bit of a nap right now, not having to check anything, but that will change in just a moment here when they step outside, and possibly even here once they get the Sanctuary. Buane with a very nice, just over 6-minute Sanctuary, and Fricker right behind, so both runners doing a very nice job getting out of the sewers with just bombs. And actually, you know what? They're going to be able to skip that chest because it's just a map. Fricker forgot about that, but Buane did not.
Yeah, I was about to say that it was, as far as I was aware of the map, and then Buane did a little bit of a pause to check to make sure it was. It's a nice way to fall back if you aren't 100% positive, to just be like, nope, pause menu, let me see.
Indeed. I believe we're getting... Actually, both runners are going to go ahead and do the Lost Woods check first. Going to skip the Lumberjack Ledge at the moment, or maybe wrap it back around going the other way. Very interesting to see how these 2 route it.
Definitely support not checking Lumberjack immediately.
Hey,
there's Ether Medallion.
There you go. A little bit of work for SA right now. Getting that Ether Medallion. And
oh,
this seed wants us to have all of the bombs.
It does. If I recall correctly, there is only 1 4-bomb drop in the prize pool, so having the 4-bomb drop just conveniently be the tier 2 tree pull is really, really nice.
Oh boy. This will be interesting. And there's our first check. 3 crystal dungeons in the Light World. I believe specifically the number 2 crystal is at Desert Palace, so 4 is at Eastern Palace, and the red 6 crystal is up at Tower of Hera. So 3 Dark World dungeons are pendants.
That's perfect, and bravo on catching the number of the Desert Crystal. I only got Hera and Eastern. Hey, a Moon Pearl.
Yeah, there's a Moon Pearl. There's a Merle. That's good. And just a couple of pieces of heart here. And a hammer, okay.
Okay, now they have an actual weapon, and they are 2/3 of the way to Dark World access.
We've got 2/3 of the way to our Dark World starter kit there. Both runners also now picking up the extra rupees in those pots. We'll have enough to go ahead and check the bottle vendor.
Yep, and that's something that you never want to have to miss if you have trouble finding rupees early, because you'll forget it, almost guaranteed.
Indeed. So we'll get to see where those power gloves are. And they can indeed be somewhere difficult. There was a seed that I saw back in the Swiss rounds. It was toward the end of the run, and it had the lift upgrade on top of... there's the book, so that's desert access right away. That's good. But the lift upgrade was on Bumper Cave in Dark World. So that meant that they kind of needed to get the gloves from somewhere else, and it was very trolly.
Definitely sounds like it.
I'm gonna check what I've been told is Christos Owen's hut here, and just 300 rupees hanging out there.
That's a nice find. Those 300s are... You need around, I believe, 800 rupees for all the stuff that requires money in the run. So to get a couple of 300s is usually a nice plus.
Indeed, and picking up another little heart piece there, which will get both our runners, I believe, a full extra heart.
Now we'll get our library check coming up.
Indeed, you get to see what's on the library bookshelf. Is anything of value? No, just a little bit of love. Gonna continue onward after we've robbed Christos, so we get to see what's at the end of the maze race next. And Buane's gonna go ahead and just do it blind, which not a bad solution. Let's see, Fricker's gonna go ahead and check first. So we're getting to see a little bit of divergence here. It's just 100 rupees.
Yep, so he saves a little bit of time. I'm guessing Buane might go ahead and grab that just for the Zora money.
I would say so too. He can set up fake flipper too at this point with Moon Pearl. So Zora is absolutely 100% checkable. Completely checkable, in fact. But
Yeah, although logically still locked, since no flippers or glove.
Indeed. But I think it's probably also a good gamble by Fricker because the odds are there's a lot of rupees hanging out somewhere over here. There's the lamp. Okay, hello, friend.
Oh no, not an early lamp.
Well,
early lamp always is a cause for concern.
Yeah, it sure is. It just means that we're a sword away from having it. Sword and there are 2 swords, or a sword and either the Can of Burna or the Magic Cape away from being able to get the Aga.
So first glove in pod?
I don't know. I think my gut feeling is it's in the Desert Palace. Because
Yeah, that's easy, and then they don't have to do Aghanim.
Yeah, if you've got the book that early, probably within the... If you get the book within a Sphere Zero like that, it kind of is hinting that maybe there's something in Desert Palace you should go check out.
Nice mini Moldorm kill with the bombs there by Fricker. It is much easier to do that with bombs than it is to use the hammer.
Indeed. And out of the mini Moldorm cave, we got an arrow upgrade, a full heart, a bottle of blue goo. Well, I actually had the crystals backwards. It was 2 and 4 at Eastern and Desert, but not too much of a difference there. Either way, blue goo, and then looks like about 21 rubies in those 2 chests here.
Yeah, and that blue goo does open up Sick Kid back in Kakariko, so at some point when they inevitably make their way back there, they can check him out.
Absolutely. We'll probably see them both dip back to there at some point, especially if we find the gloves somewhere up here, because that's going to be their easy access point to get to the Dark World.
Fricker with the jukes on the crabs who would have killed him in 1 hit.
Yeah, those crabs are nasty this early. Oh, and a single arrow in Ice Rod Cave.
Clearly the most valuable chest in the game, you know. There are multiple 10 arrow drops, but obviously if it's just one, it's got to be a more valuable arrow, right?
Indeed. So yeah, shoutouts to Fricker for being able to get around those crabs. They do 2 hearts of damage when you have green mail, so they will kill you very quickly if you mess up here. And I believe Buane is going to fake flipper at this point. Yep.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Fricker is good. Yeah, and in the meantime, Fricker is following that book and saying, "I'm going to desert."
And Buane's got it. So we get to see what else is hanging out around here. Fricker making the play, not having quite enough rupees to do Zora check, so making the play over to Agina's cave. Oh,
that's just rude.
Oh, that's nasty. That there's a sword sitting on the Lake Hylia island like that. Oh my goodness, that's not fun.
It's nice to know it's there, but, you know, if Swamp's a pendant and Mire is in Ganon's tower, then you're just sad the whole race.
Ooh, Buane with the play, getting the silver arrows off a hobo.
Now that's going to be very nice when they find that bow.
Absolutely.
Agina's cave came up dry, so Fricker's heading over to the entrance of desert.
Kind of did not get a chance to see what's over on that ledge there yet. Well, Buane is going to take the portal all the way up to Zora's domain. Set up the water walk here. Can dip in real quick and dip back out, and that will change Link's animation to be walking. So now he can go ahead and open up these chests. 20 rupees and a little piece of heart. Not a whole lot.
Get a map check in desert to make sure we know where we're going.
I think that might have been a buffer attempt to get the little dude there. So what's on the ledge? Shovel! Ooh.
Seed, what are you doing to these two? Here's your sword on Hylia Island, here's this shovel on Zora Ledge, so you don't know if you need it.
Oh, that could absolutely... There's a cane of Samaria. Hello.
That's certainly a thing. Not a super valuable thing right now, but a thing.
Oh, and a big key there for Fricker, so that'll be nice.
And desert is officially not boots locked, so they can't full clear because they don't have a glove to get to Lamolus, but they can get everything in the front half.
Indeed. So I think we found one item, I believe, out of... Yeah, we found one item because we got the cane of Samaria. So we're now just going to be looking for that second item. As Buane is going to go up and check with our good friend Saharsfurler. There it is, second item.
So desert comes up dry, and here's kind of the disadvantage of not checking the desert ledge there. If he had just walked a little bit more left before entering Desert Palace, he would not have to walk down here and walk over to the ledge.
Absolutely, I was going to mention that when Fricker first went in there. Did not check the desert ledge. It's going to lose probably about 15 seconds having to go check this. He might have not had to do Hanch's bombs.
Yep, so desert is something they're going to need to do eventually. Not just because it's a crystal, but with that cane of Samaria there. But Eastern Palace is looking like a good play here.
I think so, and I believe Fricker will make the Eastern Palace play as well.
Let's go with Cape, Sword, Heart Container for the 3 items in Eastern.
Cape, Sword, Heart Container. You are just selecting evil things. Well, the big key to start with. I don't believe Buane talked to Hasrilla, so I don't think we got any info on where that green pendant might be, other than it's in the Dark World.
Yeah, outside of Key Sandy, I don't see much, if any, reason to talk to Hasrilla there. Usually, it's just going to be a little bit of time lost for information you can get off a quick map check anyway. Well, there's 20 bucks. That doesn't help with anything.
Nope, that's one item down. 2 more to go.
So see, now if it's Cape and Sword, I was actually friendlier than the seed itself.
That is correct. Wow. You're too nice for the logic. You need to be tougher.
Now coming up on Stalfos room here.
Yeah. It's like shield and mushroom.
Well, there's a compass, so we will still potentially see all 3 items. We might only get 2 of them.
Indeed, if we see the map, that means third item is going to be an Armros Knights. Ooh, okay.
That's a glove.
That's no more Aga. Aga, go bye-bye now.
Yet there's still the chance that Lumberjack Cave is required, since neither of these 2 checked it. But for the most part, Aga is dead.
Yeah, there are, I guess, a couple of specific scenarios where that might be the case. Most likely that Lumberjack Ledge is an item of value that they need to complete the game, like hookshot, like bow, like pretty much anything that they would need as mirror. So yeah, Aga 1 fight is right now on life support as far as being necessary.
And we get the map. So Armos Knights do have the third item. We don't have to worry about that for a while, though.
Yes, indeed. On the other hand, that means we've got full Desert Palace access now. So Buane is actually going to get the chance to go in and clean this up. Oh, he's actually
he's
going
headed
to
right to Dark World.
You can say I like this play a little bit. And you do Hype Cave, and then route around and do some other stuff. Will we get a map check right now? Not yet.
I assume there will be one before he decides where to go from here, but before Hype Cave, don't need to worry about it. Not until after.
Mm-hmm. I suspect that we might see a quick peek over to the pyramid as well. So 20 rupees to start off from the NPC in Hype Cave. Just some bombs. More 20s. Piece of heart. And 50 rupees. Okay. Well,
Oh.
Nope, Cave. You've disappointed me again.
Let's see which way he's going to head. Over to Stumpy in the digging game or up to the pyramid. Looks like the former.
Yeah, I was about to say I forgot about Stumpy there for a second. In part because Stumpy is usually trash, and every time I say that, Stumpy has something of value. So I'm sure this is the absolute right play to make right now.
Oh!
I knew it.
Well, you definitely had that one right.
I badmouth Stumpy, and Hookshot is there.
Hookshot is wonderful. Now, Fricker making a strange play. He is coming back over here, and he's going to go clear out Desert Palace, despite already having both items out of it. I don't know if I can agree with that one.
Well, I don't know as well. I think he's just thinking, get the crystal, get it done. Get it out of the way. Don't ever have to come back here again for any reason. And
yeah, it's
10,
just you're likely going to have some better time to come back here. You're either going to get the flute or you're going to have boots or something to speed you up. So this is just a really... It's an odd play. I'll say that. It's an odd play.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's not a run killer at this point. It is kind of not great because we know where Hookshot is, and that would certainly help with a lot of things. But it's not a run killer yet. You know, obviously it's still only 20 minutes in. Any possible time loss that Fricker might get from this because Wayne's going to be able to clear it in one go. I don't think it'd be too bad. And Wayne's actually going to go up the Death Mountain.
Yep, Hookshot in hand, the glove and lamp put it in logic. So this is a bunch of chests that he can check up here between East and West Dark Mountain. The only thing he can't check up here is the Spectacle Rock item. He can see it, but he can't get it.
Indeed. So he'll have the knowledge here. Oh, he also won't be able to. He'll be able to check and see what's on Ether Tablet, but he won't be able to get that either because no sword. But this is,
yes.
Yeah, this is really good routing from Buane as far as decision-wise. Going to Death Mountain like this is a very good play simply because of the item density. You clear out a whole bunch of stuff. There's a high chance you'll get at least one thing. Now, of course, I say that, and that's entirely possible. There's a blue tunic up on Spectacle Rock. It's entirely possible that all of those chests could be absolutely nothing and just a 5-arrow upgrade inside the rock.
It is definitely possible. He can also clear out his 5-6 crystal up here in Hera, though, while he's up here. So even if all the chests are empty, he still gets a crystal.
That's absolutely true. And I wonder if we're going to go see Fricker maybe make the play to the Dark World after this, knowing that the access is available.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think he's got many other options, so I'm assuming he'll be heading right to Dark World. We'll just have to see where he goes into Dark World at.
He does have access to basically just the western part of Death Mountain. I don't know if you'd come up here without finding that hookshot, though. And there's the map. There's the fire rod and a shield. Paradox Cave paying off big to start here for Buane.
Shield's a little bit disappointing, but that fire rod is very nice.
Indeed, that'll make the decision to do Tower of Hera a little bit easier. Just a heart, a couple of rupees.
Yeah, after that, Paradox Cave has kind of died down quite a bit, including the worst boomerang.
Yeah, some people like the red meringue, other people don't. Buane's gonna do a bomb jump here. Swordless bomb jump back across. Nicely executed. And indeed, Fricker is going to the Dark World. So they're going to be following in Buane's footsteps here. Well, it does have the crystal advantage. 1-0 right now. Has completed Desert Palace. And if he follows the same path, will very likely end up going up Tower of Hera.
Also, should be noted that that was a terrific hammer kill on Lamolus by Fricker. Hammer Lamolus is one of the harder hammer bosses, and he made it look pretty simple.
Indeed. So Buane's going to start from left to right here. He's got the dead rock in the way. I'm going to go ahead and check this ether tablet real quick. Gotta be careful. Actually going to go into Tower of Hera now. I think that's a good play.
Says, okay, one heart away from death. I'm going to go in here where if I die, it doesn't hurt.
Indeed. So we'll just get a check of that later. And Fricker is not going to get that hook shot. Getting the big key on Tower of Hera, but Fricker... Well, and he's going to Death Warp back out. I actually like this play.
Yep, get that free health refill for a very minor time cost, and then carry on with your business from there.
Yes, indeed. So we get to see what's in this small chest. It's the map. Please go upstairs. Do not pass go. Do not click $200.
Collect $300 when there's a big 300 in the big chest.
So Buane's going to have to do... we were speaking about tough hammer bosses. Hammer Moldorm. That's always an adventure.
I don't know, Hammer Moldorm is easier than Fire Sword Moldorm, because you don't have to deal with the speed up.
That's true. But the tough thing is always tiny hitbox. Tiny hitbox to deal with. Tiny hitbox on boss. Oh, he's going to do the bomb jump. There's the key. Hello, key.
Yeah, nice bomb jump. I've personally gotten into the habit of using the spin setup for that, but he doesn't have a sword to do so. So he had to do it the hard way, where you risk falling 2 floors if you tap up just a moment too long.
Indeed, I believe we're going to see Fricker come on up to Death Mountain as well, so won't be too far behind Buane here. And clearing out Tower of Hera. Get his second crystal while Buane gets number 1 and makes his way back out. Fire Rod is in Paradox Cave in the bottom 2 chests. And very well executed there by Buane. Made it look super easy.
Yep, he gave Trolldorm no chance to troll. Gets the compass, so there's an item in the basement.
Yeah, that would make sense why he used the bombs to get across that gap too, is because if you use the hook shot, it will trigger the star panels there and change the floor, so you can't get back across.
And Buane going right back in for this basement item, saying, nope, not gonna leave this behind.
I think this is a good play, considering how much you have and what you don't have right now, and what you have access to. I feel like this is, something you need to check, even if it's nothing, just to have that peace of mind that, oh no, I didn't leave progression behind in Tower of Hera when I could have got it. And Buane sets up the very successful, a nice coffee break.
A couple moments to stretch out, relax yourself, just kind of wait out these tiles smacking you in the face while you ponder life.
So Fricker are going to make the trip over to Paradox Cave. We'll get the fire rod in just a moment here, and the shield, and the magic boomerang.
And Buane jumps out of his coffee break to go ahead and set up a death warp so he can get out of here a little bit quicker.
Yes, indeed, and just 50 rupees. But peace of mind more than anything else at this point. Again,
Yep, and on Fricker's side, if he does decide to gamble that location, that's a chance to make up a little bit of that time from the extra little trip over the desert there.
Indeed. Buane gonna go ahead and check Ether tablet here, so we'll get to see if it's couch cash or something useful. Maximum health increase. Yeah! So it is going to be a full heart.
Yeah, I really can't imagine a situation where either of these two would actually make their way over there for that.
I can think of one, but it's going to be fairly uncommon, which is they find no more hearts throughout the rest of the game.
I mean, even that, then you're just assuming there's a bunch of hearts in Ganon's tower, and you're just like, okay, let's go.
Indeed.
So we get to everyone's favorite cave to do without boots. Just walking nice and slow, all the way around, over and over.
To be fair, I do have hook shot, so it's a little bit less of a hassle with hook shot because it takes out everything in the cave in one go. It's just a walk that's a pain in the butt. Ooh!
That's a nice reward.
That's a nice find.
So for slogging through a spiral cave, Buane is rewarded with the mire, which is going to make his Dark World routing a lot nicer.
Yes, indeed. So Fricker will probably pick that up, I would guess, after completing Tower of Hera here.
Yeah, short of deciding to gamble by sequence breaking Spike Cave, there's really not many other ways you could reasonably wrap up this trip up Death Mountain, so he should be getting it.
I would think so, especially because if you leave that location on your tracker just sitting there, that one little lonely square, that spiral cave, that gnaws at you after a while. You're looking for stuff still, you know, at 30, 40, 50 minutes into the race, and you're just like looking up there like, why did I skip that? That could be the progression I need to take a lead in this race or to come back. And I could have did that 30 minutes ago and I didn't do it. Why did I choose that? And then it just messes with you. It's not fun.
And we do get our map check. We got Crystal 5 in Turtle Rock, pendants in Skullwoods, Pod, and Ice, with Ice being the green pendant, if I caught that all correctly.
Absolutely 100% correct there, Mentos. Good job on you.
If only I could make my own map checks in my own races that quick. Oh.
Indeed. It's all about no pressure.
So Buane dipping into Skullwoods, he can't actually full clear this yet due to the lack of a sword, which is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, but we'll be able to clear out at least, if I can remember right, there should be 4 or 5 chests that he can clear out here. There's one item. And it's got the key here, so he'll be able to bypass this one room. Yeah, there are 5 chests, 4 chests here, 5 if you have the big key. Which Buane does.
And for Fricker wrapping up his Moldorm fight, we'll see if he is going to go back into the basement.
So here's a cool little thing, small time optimization that Fricker will be able to do here that Buane will not be able to do because of that desert dip. Buane does not have to key into Samaria. We'll have to go the long way to check this last chest.
Yep, if you know how to do it, it's not a whole lot faster and slower, but it's still a couple seconds at least you can save.
Yeah. He's actually doing a really nice job here with getting that statue pole. He just have the mirror, so he'll be able to mirror back out after opening this chest. It's a mushroom. Okay, so that's both items. Both items have been found.
Okay, so
that's-
here's another little quirk of that desert dip. Having the cane of Samaria means that you can do the fake powder glitch.
Yep.
And Buane is not currently able to do that. We'll see if he turns that mushroom in before he has that chance.
Again, stories from the Swiss rounds that did decide a match. Fake powder did decide a fairly, I think it was a 3-2 match. I can't remember who it was, but it did decide a match. There was a fake powder early, and it had a very important progression item.
Oh, that's bad.
Uh-oh, what happened?
So, Fricker got himself placed in the perfect spot on those tiles in Hera where you can't move when you try to walk off.
Oh, he got stuck.
Yeah, so he saved and quit out of Hera, which means he did skip Spiral Cave. So
Oh, no.
he's not getting the mirror before going into the Dark World. That's actually really big.
That's not good. I hope he remembers that he's got that square. As I was saying just a few minutes ago, that's gonna be burning. That's gonna be burning inside of him if he doesn't go back and get that soon.
Yeah, like missing Hera basement doesn't matter, but the fact that he had to save and quit to get out of there took him away from a very important item on the other side of Death Mountain.
We are gonna get a sick kid check though, as Buane checks Graveyard Ledge. Just finds it to be a little bit of love, and Fricker also getting a heart piece.
So now he's gonna join in the Dark World over here. If these mirror spots don't have anything important, it really just means he'll be kept out of swamp a little bit longer. But we haven't seen the cave south of the Haunted Grove yet, and there are the couple other little mirror locations that could have something that are accessible now, but not a whole lot of them.
Yeah, really don't want to see it. K45 have something super important, and then Buane's able to pick it up, and Fricker is just not able to grab it.
Oh, good point in chat. He had the Cane of Samaria, so he actually could have gotten out of that trap by placing a block down, picking it up, throwing it downwards, and using the beams. But that's a very hard thing to think of when you're in that situation of, oh, I'm trapped.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest thing to think of is to save and quit, and just chalk it up to be like, okay, I hope nothing important's in these places I haven't checked yet.
Yeah, pretty much. He is getting his map check done, Buane finding another piece of heart in the Bombable Hut.
Yep, and I assume Buane's going to go ahead and just do Sick Kid right now, maybe not. He's going to do Chest Game. And receive a greater prize than he paid.
Congratulations, you've won our grand prize. It is a 1000% increase on what you spent.
Indeed. Slot machine jackpot sound. And Buane dipping into Thieves Town here, starting off first chest, 20 rupees.
Shoutouts to Zazak there, who just decided to go hang out underneath the catwalk where Buane couldn't see him.
There's that big key. Of course, guaranteed to be in those first 4 chests, simply because if it's not, you can't get through the rest of Yi dungeon.
Yep, and Thieves Town is full clearable right now. That hammer is plenty enough to take out Blind, and it will let you into the only location with a requirement in this whole dungeon, which is the big chest.
Getting the map there. And compass. So
well, at least now he knows where to go.
yes, indeed. And the good news is having that hammer means that everything is openable back here. It is a crystal dungeon. We're gonna get everything. We know that Blind has an item now. We know that one of the chests here is gonna have a key. In fact, it may be the big chest itself.
Which, when you have hammer, is something you always want to see because it just means that it saves you a little bit of time.
Indeed, means that you get a full clear and don't have to worry about coming back here later. Having to go through all of this again just to open up a single chest that could have progression in it, and then you open it up and it's like 20 rupees, and you're like, why did I do this?
So Fricker's gonna head down, do his Village of Outcasts check, and he has now essentially created another single square on the board with that graveyard ledge.
Yes, indeed.
Arrow capacity, so Thieves Town with nothing that anyone actually cares about so far.
So one of the things that could be beneficial for Fricker here is if we find very soon the Titan's Mitt. That might push a reminder, oh yeah, I haven't finished out all of East Death Mountain yet. Maybe I should go back and do Spiral Cave.
Yeah, mid-early would be the ideal thing for Fricker. 100% that will push him back up Death Mountain in a way no other item is going to.
One of the other things to keep in mind too is maybe also could be thinking about it as he goes up to check Turtle Rock Medallion as well.
Yeah, I think usually, at least in my experience, when you don't get Spiral Cave right away, you immediately do it when you head back up for East Dark Death Mountain, and then you drop down and go to the warp on the bottom. You don't worry about going up to the TR warp or anything. You just take it nice and smooth route that way.
Yes, indeed. And congratulations, runners. You have a big chest you don't have to open because it has the key inside of it.
Hooray, like 3-second time save. It's more than 3 seconds, but Blind is bad at nuclear fission and at nuclear physics because he has no fission.
Indeed. That's a bad joke.
Very nice hammer fight here, although getting a little bit dicier there at the end, right as I say that, but Blue Potion saves everything.
Indeed. And there we go. Nicely done. That's a big 50.
So Thieves Town is a crystal, but completely empty.
Yes, indeed. Good job, everybody.
So where do you go next? Do you go over to Pod? Do you finally go make that desert play? What would you do?
Well, Blaine's gonna go check in with Sick Kid here. I say after this, I say go to Desert. It's available. You can go there right now. Get the crystal. Finish it up. Get it out of your hair. See if it somehow has some kind of progression for something that you would need for somewhere else. Because who knows? Maybe it's got the bow, and then all of a sudden you can go do pod and clear out all those pod chests, or it's got flippers, and all of a sudden, hey, I can go do Swamp Palace.
And I get put enough for having the paranoia that it's going to be boots locked and you're just going to waste your time going over there. But at this point, it definitely wouldn't be a bad play, since your other main option is a pendant dungeon, and that's a crystal that you may be able to full clear.
Indeed. Here's the thing: if you find a bow there, you can go ahead and do Eastern Palace as well. There's so many options of items that can be there, and if if it's boots locked, it's boots locked. Now you know you need the boots.
Yep, and this routing by Buane is making a lot of sense. He's going to be able to check the Bombos tablet on his way to Desert, get that extra item location checked, and so a little bit more knowledge.
Yes, indeed. That's not terrible here.
He's also going to have a much easier Lammo fight with that fire rod.
Certainly so. We'll have to watch the... Ooh, it's Quake. But we'll have to watch the magic, obviously, and he won't have the safety anymore either. So do not want to run out of magic there, or you're going to hammer strats. Meanwhile, I think Fricker's going to complete the blind fight without having to use that blue safety. So just a little
Yeah, that
bit
was
something in the back pocket there.
It was a very good fight on his part. Hammer Blind is not the easiest boss fight.
Indeed, Buane is looks like going to be heading to Desert Palace to clear this out.
And we'll see where Fricker heads next. He's a little bit tighter on options. He's already got Desert done. He doesn't have the mirror. I'm guessing we're going to see him head over toward Pod.
Definitely could be the case here. So what options other than Pod do we have left here as Fricker goes ahead and starts clearing everything out? These towns taken care of. Ice Palace, no go. Mire, obviously no go. Total Rock, no go. Swamp Palace, no, because we can't even get past the first part there where you have to jump in and swim across. So no to that. Let's go into his house.
Yeah, this definitely seems like it's probably going to be an East Dark World check.
Indeed. You know what's funny? We still haven't seen Lumberjack Ledge. What kind of cruelty would it be if the flippers are on Lumberjack Ledge? As Buane picks up Cane of Samaria.
This is one of those cases where finding out this dungeon isn't boots locked this late, he's not going to care about. Like, okay, so my opponent had Cane of Samaria before me. I just routed this cleaner with the mirror than they would have if they went here right away. So no time lost, really.
Yeah, and Fricker's going to go ahead and go over to, East Dark World. So it looks like Pod, Pyramid.
And probably Catfish. I'd assume he's going to go all the way up there.
Might as well. Unfortunately, won't be able to check the, won't be able to route in the potion shop with this, because, again, no mirror. So can't mirror quickly to get the potion shop item or even get there to check it.
Oh, interesting. Buane gets both items out of Desert and says, you know what, Mire's a crystal, I've already got the mirror, I'm just going to finish this up when I come back for Mire.
That seems to be the case. There's the flippers!
That also unlocks our first sword, but Fricker doesn't know that sword exists or have the mirror. Buane's going to be getting it soon, though.
Nope. Yep. Buane will be getting it, so that'll be good news for Buane. And Fricker's going to be checking stuff. But what this does do, and this is interesting, is Fricker will be able to get to that shovel on a later Zora check. There's a small possibility that, say, that shovel has Ice Rod behind it, and Fricker picks it up, and Buane delays getting it until like the last possible minute and forgets where that shovel is. That could be a huge time gain for Fricker, and Fricker may not even know it.
Yeah, it definitely potentially could be. And on the flip side, Buane is going to have early access to Swamp Palace, which, if there's something important in there, he's going to be getting to probably a decent chunk earlier than Fricker, so we'll have to see if he decides to make that play.
Indeed, and Buane now picking up those flippers. So I assume Buane will also go up and do Catfish, probably do Potion Shop as well, because having that mirror will open it up. Fricker is going to go and do all the stuff that Buane did earlier, so Fricker will see that the sword is hanging out here on Lake Hilly Island. We'll get those silver arrows probably. Yeah, gotta go up to Hobo.
You've been seeing that sword, he thinks, man, I wish I had a mirror. Why don't I have a mirror yet? And little does he know.
He's gonna be so super upset when he finds that in Spike Cave, Spiral Cave.
And Buane deciding to say, no fake powder for me, I'm going to turn the mushroom in, and then kind of turning against that idea.
Yeah.
Just kind of walked away.
Fricker getting those silver arrows. So I think, yeah, Buane gonna hold on to the mushroom for now.
I like how close he was to turning that in, and then just like, no.
Yeah, I kind of thought better of it for a moment, just in case it needs it for fake powder. Yeah, Fricker will be going up here to clear out the rest of the northeast corner, looking for that mirror. Won't find it. Wonder if we'll see a trip back up to Death Mountain after this.
Buane has pulled out his mirror, so he's gonna go grab that shovel right now.
Indeed. Oh, wait a minute. Is Buane going to get the shovel too?
Yep.
Both runners going to get both runners. Convergence.
Mere moments apart from each other until Fricker has to go to Zora and Buane just goes straight to the shovel.
Indeed. So, is it, instead of being like a high five, is it just like a pat on the back as Buane, or a tap on the shoulder as Buane walks past Fricker here?
That seems like a reasonable approximation.
Because I feel like the high five, you have to be facing each other. Otherwise, you're just kind of patting them on the back.
There's the shovel, the fetch quest of dreams.
Oh,
So I think you go check dig spot and then probably consider that swamp play.
they can only check one place with it, and they're both gonna go check it right now. That was a weird little glitch there. The 10 arrows, because Fricker didn't pick them up, showing up for a moment as the sprite for the shovel.
Yeah, the game really doesn't like having two standing item sprites on the same loaded screen. So if you don't pick up Zora's item, it's just like, no, this is this thing. That's what's up here.
I think Fricker is thinking, oh, it's just a 5-bomb upgrade. Fricker is thinking about something. Is Fricker thinking, I'm gonna go to Death Mountain now? No, Fricker's gonna go to Sanctuary. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Fricker?
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going to head at the moment. I thought he was going to be heading over to Pod. But we'll have to see where he's planning.
Oh, is Fricker gonna go check Lumberjack Ledge, or is Fricker gonna do something else? No, Fricker's gonna go this way. I was gonna say, maybe a momentary thought. What if the mirror's on Lumberjack Ledge and I never checked it?
Oh, he's going to go ahead and do fake powder.
Aha!
And Buane saying, I've got everything I need to full clear swamp. It's a crystal dungeon. I'm going in.
It is a crystal dungeon with the most number of the most items in the game too. Got six items in here.
And yet, it always feels like there's nothing of importance ever in here. So it's always a pain deciding to route it in. So for those of you unaware, if you use the Cane of Samaria with no magic, get the little beep beep sound, and then switch to Mushroom while that's going on, it creates powder because game is weird, and it ends up getting him a 10-bomb upgrade, which not really what he was hoping for.
No, it's going to turn out to not be a super awesome play as far as progression, but yeah, just checking those locations off one by one here. And we know Buane is thinking about it.
And I am surprised that Buane did not go get the sword before diving into the swamp. It would have been really inconvenient routing, but Fighter Sword Argus is still significantly faster than Menu Argus.
That is true. So without just getting that 5-bomb upgrade, without the mirror, Fricker's not going to be able to get that sword either. Another question really becomes, what next? Where can Fricker go that hasn't been checked yet? We know there's a couple of locations that are just kind of floating out there, either on an actual tracker map or hopefully in the tracker that is within his mind. of I haven't been to these places. I can go to those places. When can I get back there to check them?
Yeah, it's looking like he's going to make the pod play, which I would expect and could pay off if Buane keeps getting progression that keeps him moving, and there's something like the ice rod or the bow in that pendant pod. It could be a nice advantage to have that done, and not getting that mirror could turn out to be a little bit of a payoff.
Yes, indeed. Hey, more bombs for Buane.
Just in time. He only had 4 left. He might run out.
And he's gonna go ahead and just skip the left side entirely. Says, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to the back.
I know someone timed it out not long ago, and it's almost universally a better decision to go straight to the back, except in the instance where you wouldn't have to double back if you go left first, but you would if you go back first.
I would agree with that.
Sorry, to be more specific, double back for the big key. So if the big key is on left side, it's pretty much the only situation where it's better to go left first. There's the real powder.
Indeed. There's the real powder, so Buane, you gotta turn that mushroom in, buddy. But it's okay. I think that will probably put it's a heart piece. That probably will put the bat check into Buane's mind at some point here.
Yep, and Pod is not bow locked for getting a small key in the first chest. He can now continue on with the dungeon a little bit.
Yes, indeed. So we'll get to see if there's a point that the dungeon says you may not advance any further, Fricker, until you have found the mirror or some other item. Oh. Well, here's the fire shield.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. Not a huge upgrade, but an upgrade. So he's gonna go check this basement chest, and then he has an option if it's a small key, which it is.
Yes.
Does he check the vanilla big key spot and find out if this dungeon is logically bow locked, or go to the back for the items regardless?
I'm going to check on the right side to start with. So, based on the way that the logic lays this out, there's 4 keys in the front. Fricker's found 2 of them. There's 2 more keys, and that would mean that one of the remaining things is the second item that's in the front here. Getting an item, getting a refill. Ah, potion glitch. One potion glitch.
Shoutouts to this menu boss by Buane. He has been very clean in his menus.
Very
That
nice.
was
Indeed.
that last puff though. That last puff was a jerk.
And very nice potion glitch there from Fricker. The way that works, if you've never seen that before, it's relatively newer glitch that's found some use here in Rando. Getting that 3rd big key. This is a map. Okay, so we know that vanilla chest up on top there is just going to be a key. So Fricker will skip it because you're not going to spend a key to go get another key. It's just a waste of time.
Yep, and with that being there and knowing that's going to be a key, then you can safely say the back of this dungeon was not bow locked, which is good to know.
Mm-hmm. And indeed, so beating Argus gave Buane the cape. So that's a nice find.
Yep, 1 pair of boots away from being able to get the lumberjack tree item.
Well, Fricker checked it anyways.
Yeah, getting his disappointment. I'm assuming that he probably either miscounted or forgot that there have to be 4 small keys in the front half of Pod.
Indeed. So here's the map. Buane is going back in to check the last 2 chests over here on the left. So we'll get to see just how good of an idea was it to skip these in the first place. If these have nothing in them, it was a pretty good idea just to skip and go ahead and pretend. Oh, that's actually really nice. Using the red meringue to flip that switch.
And we
Yeah,
got
that's. Oh, sorry about that. But I was just gonna answer chat real quick here. Haven't seen the lumberjack ledge at almost an hour in. Both runners skipped it. We don't know if it's an important item or if it's junk.
Yep, which is pretty much. Hey, a sword! Fricker the first one with a sword at almost an hour in, sitting in pod.
Congratulations, Fricker. You have a sword now, which means you have Master Sword sitting there on Lake Hilly Island. And you picking up the compass. So with that map find, here's another key. I believe that means we're at 6 keys. Everything else for Fricker from this point on is gonna be items.
Yep, well all he's got left is the dark maze, which can't have a key in there anyway, so he is in good shape that way, but it's also no more dungeon items of any sort, if I recall.
Yes. I found the map on the right side, and of course the big key, we found that fairly early on.
I was going to say earlier, the one other thing that Cape unlocks is Spike
Found it right
Cave.
there. I was thinking a different one, but yeah, there's the big key. Boots! Oh!
Oh, that lumberjack tree that I was just talking about is, it's kind of open now.
But Fricker's gonna go ahead and check, Bunk Rock to start with.
So the boots payoff is big, especially if there's nothing required behind it and Buane doesn't get over there to get them.
Yes, indeed. So here's where things could get kind of nasty for Buane. Are we going to see a trip over the Palace of Darkness, or is Buane going to go somewhere else?
I think he's going to go to pod here soon, because he doesn't have a whole lot of options opened up by anything in Swamp.
It's true, so... Ooh, Fricker is going to go check Lumberjack Ledge. So we're going to get the answer to our question at an hour and 2 minutes in. What's on the ledge?
Oh, it's the mitts!
It is.
They're required.
Oh, this is Aga required. Fricker knows it. Fricker's going to get it right now, I believe. Yeah, he's going to Aga right now.
Well, he can't go to Aga yet. Well, he could.
No, he doesn't have the, Wait, he could? Could?
He could with a series of sequence breaks to get the Master Sword off Hylia Island before going up this way. Unfortunately, it seems like he forgot that he doesn't have anything above Fighter Sword.
He's forgotten.
But yeah, you could do a Boots water walk onto the Hylia Island. Oh wait, he doesn't have the mirror, so you couldn't get the sword from there even with the Boots water walk. Never mind, he couldn't do the sequence break thing.
Oh, he's just realizing now. I don't have the things. Yep. Frustration sets in.
Says, but wait, I need those mitts. I'm running out of locations. Where else do you want me to go?
If you see him go up to... nope. Getting frustrated now. He's gotta have a really cool head at this point.
So we know that Buane needs to go over to Pod to get those boots. So Fricker isn't going to get a big advantage from that. But where is he headed next?
Mushroom turning. Yeah, Fricker may have forgotten about going to Death Mountain. I hope not, because that could certainly be a problem. What's the thing? It's just a little bit of love. So, yeah, Fricker's out of... He's thinking. He's trying to think. Where do I go now? What did I not check? Where am I still missing something? Okay. Okay, this is potentially good for Fricker.
Yep, and he's going to get kind of a little bit of a head start on the Aghanim play. Because he's going to get the mirror, he's going to go straight for that sword on Hylia Island, and then straight to Aghanim while Buane's doing Pod.
Yeah, he's going to the Spiral Cave. This should be good. This should be good. He'll be upset about this, but this should be good for him. Because he knows that sword is right there on the Spiral Cave.
The only issue for him is he's got the Graveyard Ledge, K45 that are those one-off checks that he might try to route in. I think when you get the mirror this late and you know you should have had it earlier, you kind of avoid the mirror spots. Just say, no, gonna assume they're not important. I lost if they were. Let's keep going.
So he's got the mirror. I think we'll see a save and quit to go back to his house. And then go to the Dark World. Get that sword, and then it's off to Aga.
Yep, he is not far off from there. Buane, meanwhile, going through Pod. We'll see if he does Potion Glitch. Either way, he will get those boots in the big chest for sure.
Indeed. So this does tie them up 3-3 at Crystals, with Fricker having completed Desert Palace and Buane having completed Swamp Palace. But the Aga seed, there's one thing left it could be, and it sure as heck turned out to be exactly the only option, which is that Titan's mitts are sitting there on Lumberjack Ledge. And Fricker has now picked up that Master Sword. Buane will be getting the Master Sword shortly. Harmless Hellway will have the sword upgrade for him.
So I wonder if Buane leaves this dungeon only having found the boots, does he just make the play straight to Aghanim, assuming that Lumberjack Tree is important?
You know, I don't know at this point. That's a good question. Will he remember to check Harmless Hellway for that last item? Or will he route that in early because of the fact that he'll get a key in that room? So maybe he thinks, okay, I'll go ahead and just open up Harmless Hellway now. Gets the second sword and is now like, okay, now I can go to Aga. Cape is on Argus in Swamp Palace, which Buane's completed and Fricker has not.
Yeah, there's a little bit of potential, I guess you could say time lost for Buane, in that if he tries to do King's Tomb before checking Lumberjack, he's gonna kind of do it the slow way by having to mirror from Dark World instead of just picking up the rocks.
Indeed. So, yeah, Buane will get the last key down here. We'll know that everything is open for him to go ahead and open up all those doors.
But I like the way he's doing things, running the dungeon according to logic to know where, if anywhere, the bow lock happens. It's a little bit safer in terms of future routing to do that way.
Absolutely. Picking up Master Sword now, so definitely knows that Aga is a possibility. If that Magic Cape didn't make it obvious that that might be the case. But we'll find the boots here shortly.
I wonder how he's going to be feeling about that, because Pod has been open for, 40 minutes now they could have accessed it?
Roughly, yeah. 30, 40 minutes. It's that big key. Gonna get the boots in just a moment here. Hiding in the big chest here in Palace of Darkness.
Fricker moving through Aga's tower very cleanly. He is most of the way up to the top now. And then we'll get to see how many blue balls we get today.
Indeed. So, Buane now exiting Palace of Darkness as Fricker gets to the top. And, indeed, we're going to get a check here. Buane's going to go ahead and at least check Bonk Rocks. I will be very curious to see if Lumberjack Ledge comes into play here for Buane.
Yeah, I'd assume he's got to check it. Just now that you got the boots, you got everything you need to get it, see what it is now. See, so that was nothing. And does he head north or west?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So Wayne is about to get the exact same intel that Fricker has. That Aga's required. You better go do it right now. Oh, he's not happy.
Those were just sword buffers. Make sure he didn't walk down the stairs, but
okay.
he's
Those are
also
sword
probably not happy.
Yeah, those are sword buffers slash potential rage slashes upon finding that. They're preemptive rage slashes.
I haven't been following this blue wall count all that exactly, but this is not a friendly Aghanim. He just got 3 in a row there.
Yeah, this is kind of being the pain in the butt. But yes, Fricker does have the mirror pick it up from Spiral Cave a little bit ago. Alright, and there we go. There's 6 for Fricker. So those Titan's mitts are now available.
Yeah, but I'd say at this point, Fricker has... I don't know, I would say actually we're probably about equal. Because Pod is much... and Desert is much quicker for Buane to finish up later than Swamp is to go through. But Fricker's got that little bit of an advantage in terms of getting the mitts earlier. He's going to get started on those mitts checks sooner.
Yes, indeed. I think that's going to be... it'll be nice for Fricker. So we've got... Let's see here. We've got... Palace of Darkness. There's 1 item left in Pod. And it's going to be on Helm of Sword King. But I don't know if we go ahead and check that. Skull Woods is cleared out of items. As Fricker goes ahead and makes his way over to Lumberjack Ledge.
Yeah, no one's going to go back to Skull Woods unless it's a pedestal seed, which there's still a chance for.
Indeed. So, yeah, Ice Palace now open for business for Fricker, and very shortly for Buane as well. I don't know if you want to go in there, but we don't want to go into a pendant Ice Palace unless you absolutely have to. Mire's still not open. Turtle Rock. It is
T-Rock
open.
is now open.
Potentially. But
just not clearable.
Yeah, just not clearable. So I don't know if you want to make the investment in that yet until you get that ice rod. Fricker's going to go ahead and check King's Doom.
That's honestly probably what I would do in this position in this race. Go up to Dark Death Mountain and then just dive into TR if you don't get what you need by the end of that.
Indeed. So let's go ahead and do a very quick recap here of what we still need for Go Mode for both of our runners.
Sounds good. I'll start off with a couple of the most annoying ones in the form of the Ice Rod and the Bow, both of which are going to be required, both of which are locking less than 10 locations apiece. In Ice Rod's case, only 1.
Indeed. So we've also got Flute's going to be needed to get into Misery Mire. We're going to need the medallions for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock as well. We don't know what those are yet, so on the small chance that both are Ether, we're good on that, but we don't know that yet. So in theory, we're probably a couple items away from Go Mode, but we're getting a little bit closer every time here.
Very true. Also, of note, the bow is the only item remaining that we need that can't be on pedestal. So enjoy that one, chat.
Well, well, well. That sure is trolly, isn't it?
Now, Fricker is heading into Swamp Palace instead of going up to Death Mountain, which I think may be concern over getting that mirror so late and knowing that this would have been open a while ago if he had had it. So he might just be going in here like, my opponent's already cleared this, if there's something important in here, I need to go in here.
Well, Magic Cave could be important if there's a Spike Cave item, or if there's an item on Laser Bridge in Turtle Rock. That being said, it'll be very interesting to see what Buane does here. Gonna have a couple of options. Where do you go next? Are we going to Desert Palace? Are we going up to Death Mountain and going to Turtle Rock and check that?
Yeah, on Buane's end, I can't really imagine him doing anything except for going up Death Mountain after this.
Yep, going to Sanctuary. Oh, actually gonna go, maybe... Oh, gonna go get the mitts, but yeah. After that, I think probably a King's Tomb check, and then up into Dark World Death Mountain to check all of those things. Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave, and get a little bit of intel there for Turtle Rock would be a good play.
So what if TR requires that Quake medallion we found on Bombos earlier?
Ooh. Oh boy.
How sad are you if you're like, okay, I just went up Death Mountain all the way up to T-Rock, and now I gotta go down to Bombo's tablet to come back up. Ah.
Well, if that's the case, Fricker has perhaps a slight time advantage here being at Swamp Palace. We'll be able to dip it right out after this and check that. So, and Fricker going to go ahead and check and skip the left side. For now, at least.
Yeah, with, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much the same play as Buane made earlier. Skip the left side, go back in for it once you know there are items there.
I would guess so as well. I would almost have to guess that Fricker's going to go ahead and check Bombo's tablet after completing Swamp Palace here. I think it's a very solid routing decision if you can route that in with something else like with a desert or a mire or something like that, where you can get that just taken care of right off the bat.
Ooh, Buane's gonna go over and do the blacksmith chain and the hammer pegs.
Interesting.
That's a solid play. Gives you more options of potentially finding the ice rod before going up there and risking having to go into T-Rock.
Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't seen it yet, but I suspect chat's bloodlust will not be satiated until we know that. Well, actually, their pedlust, I guess I should say, will not be satiated until we know that it's completely dead.
Yep, and I doubt either of these two are going to go out of their way to check it, so we're going to find out probably very late if it's required or not. It is very interesting to me that Fricker is doing menu strats on Argus while he's got the Master Sword. That is almost definitively slower than just doing it with the sword itself.
That's true, but I guess maybe there's a level of comfort or something that Fricker has with doing that, and it's just, hey, I like doing this way. Oh, gonna use the fire rod to help. Ooh, very nicely done actually with the fire rod shots, and then the sword slash finished up, getting the magic cape. And Buane getting only 50 rupees from the friendly smiths.
But he did get a nearly vanilla tempered sword outside in the hammer peg, so that was nice.
That'll be super helpful for the upcoming boss fights and Ganon as well.
Okay, Buane's gonna do what I thought he was gonna do when he saves and quit. He's gonna go into Dark World, mirror over to turn in purple chest, and then mirror over again to get that Quake medallion before Death Mountain.
It's a fairly safe play. Hedging his bet. I like it.
Yeah, it's a very nice bit of routing, something I didn't consider when he started going over this way instead of Death Mountain, but it definitely is a very good piece of decision making there.
Indeed. Here's actually the play we might see. Chest into Bombo's check into Desert Palace clear. Even though Ice Rod. Oh.
Okay, he made the right decision. That
Yes.
is very nice. So T-Rock is now full clearable, assuming that it's Ether or Quake. So he is definitely going up Death Mountain after this, and he's probably going to be going to clear T-Rock.
I would assume so at this point. So, worst case scenario for Buane right now is he gets up to T-Rock and finds Bombos.
Meanwhile, worst case scenario for Fricker, I would almost say, is if he goes up to Death Mountain after Swamp and getting Quake, T-Rock is Ether or Quake, and he dives in there right away. Because he's got less reason to push that purple chest check early than Buane had.
Yes, indeed.
I like that idea of Bombos on T-Rock, though. Just like, what do you want me to do?
Go to Ice Palace, son. Because that's all you can do. Yeah, I would expect that this is going to be either Ether or Quake.
Yeah, I would be very surprised to see Bombos there.
Yep. So Fricker's going to mirror out. Unless Bombo shows up somewhere, like right here. Is it here? No, it's not here. Or is it in Hookshot Cave? Perhaps it could be. And that would simply soothe all of our medallion wounds. So wing and go into Hookshot Cave here. Let's see what's up while Fricker's going to grab that Quake.
Oh, there's some love. That doesn't help. A few vampire skewers, 20 bucks, and a heart piece. Well, Hookshot Cave was garbage.
Uh-oh. Fricker's doing the thing that we both thought would be a really bad idea if this happens. It's Bombos. Oh!
Oh, that is fantastic.
Fricker, oh my goodness. Getting bailed
And that
out.
is actually... Yeah, I was going to say, that is super good for Fricker, because he can't make the mistake of going into T-Rock without the Ice Rod.
Chad, if you want to spam those commentator curse emotes, that's perfectly fine right now.
Buane taking a moment on his way to Spike Cave to grab that blue mail. So, we're going to Ice Palace next, yeah?
I believe so, unless it shows up here. Now, it could be hiding out in Spike Cave, but
I'm just going to go the awful way and say that Bombos is on the pedestal.
oh gosh, that would be horrible. You're really throwing the curse down there. Oh, it's a bee. It's a bee torp.
Saving that poor bee from way in the back of all these spikes. I'm sure it's grateful.
Indeed. Oh boy. So I will be interested to see where Fricker goes from here.
Yeah, I will as well. I think either Ice Palace or the Blacksmith line could be good choices for him to make. It's just a matter of which one does he make first. If he makes the Ice Palace play first, Bombos is in there, then he could start to run into those same issues we were worried about a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm. So Fricker will now go ahead and check Spike Cave.
See if he takes the very brief moment to grab that blue mail as well.
So
really-
Chad is asking us, can Bombos be on a pedestal? Here's the answer. Yes. It absolutely can be.
If the only item we still need that can't be on pedestal is the bow. The Bombos medallion and the flute, they could both be there.
Indeed. So yeah, keep in mind there's 2 items left that have ped possibilities. Flute and the Bombos medallion. Getting the big key there for Buane to start off. So we're looking for 3 items here in Ice Palace. And presumably you would think... Well, actually... What if there's no progression in here? Does that signal pedestal? Because I think
there's
actually maybe the
nothing in-
boat. I think maybe the boat's in here.
I was gonna say, if there's nothing in here, then it's probably green pendant to something. Because I don't think we have many other locations that neither of these two have checked.
Indeed. But I think the bow has got to be somewhere either for green pendant turn in, or it's got to be somewhere in this dungeon.
Yeah,
Because
or
we're kind of running out of the places
it-
where that could be too.
now see, it only has to be the bow if it's a pedestal seed. If it's
Right.
not, then you got the flute, you got bombos. They're gonna open up a bunch of locations apiece. But if you want that pedestal dream, you're hoping to see a bow in here.
Oh boy, and Fricker is gonna go to Ice Palace.
Yeah, definitely a reasonable play. I think it's actually a little bit more likely of a play to pay off than the purple chest and everything. Just there's the fact that we know the purple chest has the worst item to find in the game.
It has the one item that can be just about anywhere except for GT and on Trinux. So yeah, Tempered's on hammer pegs. Ice Rod is in the lunchbox.
It actually reminds me that Fricker's going to have a little bit tougher time in this dungeon, only having Master Sword.
Yeah, I think they'll both be okay figuring this out. But, yeah, Fricker will have a little bit of a tougher time.
Yeah, given respective skill levels, neither of them are going to have major issues. It's just going to make his boss fight in a couple of kills slower.
Indeed. One of the other things to keep in mind, too, is that Fricker's coming in here with less magic at the moment than full. Without that half magic, not going to be able to get away with that and go... No, without that and Bombos, not going to be able to get away with melting away Cold Stare's shell.
Unless he knows the trick with the sword beams and is willing to use his potion to get his health back to full.
He's already used the potion. He used it for the potion glitch.
That's right. It was Buane who got a new one after that, not him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you have full health, you can actually do a little manipulation of the way this game reads damage to make 4 fire rod shots and 4 sword beams count as 8 fire rod shots. But it's kind of tricky to pull off.
Indeed. So Buane finding 300 rupees there.
And that's 2 of the 3 items in here, not counting the green pendant as the 4th item.
Indeed. So he's gonna have to bomb jump across to get the resource here. Does it nicely. Oh, the flutes. Okay.
That opens up a few things, and
Anybody else?
that's a bold move to bail out like that. You're right next to Cold Stare. You've got all 3 items. He's the green pendant. I would have just gone and killed Cold Stare and seen if that pendant was what I needed.
Yeah, Fricker thought about it, but is going to continue press on to see what's in these chests. There's a key there. Will Fricker go do this? Is Fricker going to try and finish this up?
He just didn't do the routing Buane did,
Oh,
so
no.
he's got to go this way to get the other 2 items.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if he was going to take the gamble. But, ladies and gentlemen, people of this great rando nation, if you would please rise, remove your hats for the Swag Deck National Anthem. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Buane was going ahead and spamming every button on his controller during that time.
And Buane's going to be going to 6.
Yep, he'll
Don't mean
be
Toronto.
And I believe that
Misery
was
Mire.
set up well for the spooky action glitch. I did not catch
Oh,
that.
yeah, I didn't catch that either.
Now, waiting for the restream.
Ooh!
The bow!
Oh. In the
Okay,
shed.
Mire was Ether.
Ether. So Mire is completable for both of our runners.
So we now just need that Bombos medallion. And we have now opened up Pedestal and Logic.
That we have.
Those two things may not be related, but they also could be very related.
Absolutely. So, oh, Wayne's gonna walk away. Oh, is Wayne going to do Eastern Palace?
Yeah, I think he's gonna go kill
Indeed.
Armos Knights, get those out of the way. If they got Bombos, he can go mode Mire, which can be a nice change.
Indeed. So we do have a couple of floating dungeon items out here. Obviously, Buane has not finished Desert Palace, but has picked up both items out of there. Got one item in Eastern Palace on the Armos Knights. We've got, and this is now within logic, so Bombos could certainly be here. We've got, I believe, one item in Palace of Darkness as well. I think it's on Helmasaur King.
Yep, and then one item is sorta in Ice Palace that Fricker is about to try to get, which is the green pendant item from Sahasrara.
Yes, indeed. Now, the worst thing would be if Bombos is on Sarsaparilla, because boy, Wayne would have to go all the way back through Ice Palace to get to that, and that's not going to be evident until everything else has been checked, and he goes and checks Pedestal, and it's not on Pedestal.
Yeah, that's kind of why that decision to piece out of Ice Palace worries me, because you've got two item locations locked behind Cold Stare. You're looking for an item that can be literally anywhere. It's a very big risk to not just kill Cold Stare when you're right there at that point.
Yeah, switching the hammer here, so gonna be trying to do some hammer strats here, carefully, very carefully.
Hammer to Cold Stare is terrifying no matter how much you
Ooh.
practice.
Very nicely done, though, from Fricker.
Yep, and after that panic-inducing fight, we have this Armos fight that is the opposite of panic-inducing.
And that's a big 20. Well, if you're blind, you didn't want to see that big 20. You wanted to see that Bombos medallion. That's a very unpleasant find.
So now Fricker can activate his flute over, turn in the green pendant, and do this Eastern clear altogether. So we might be seeing soon if... Well, he's gonna have to go to the Mire area first, never mind.
So, I wonder. Will Fricker do the, going back over here to get the flute, will Fricker do the clear for, Dark World stuff over here now? Because he's gonna be in the area, and is Buane gonna do the bird toss? He did the bird tote, yes!
He just decides, I'm taking this with me. I might be hungry later. Okay, so Misery Mire with two unique items. If either of them are Bombos, we're in Go mode. If neither of them are Bombos, I'd probably bet on Pedestal.
Indeed.
And I'm glad these two are both solid NMG runners, which means they're both very familiar with spooky action, and we will get to see that in this race most likely, unless one of them messed it up.
Is Fricker gonna open this up first and do this before? There's Bombos. Okay. Oh boy, Buane is in Go mode.
Yep, at 1:34:24-ish, Buane is in Go mode. Fricker, by the time he is done in this area, will have everything but the ice rod on purple chest. We can only hope that he does the purple chest before going up Death Mountain.
Yes, indeed. So this is very, very beneficial for Buane because he will do Desert Palace after this. So we're gonna see the immediate dip out, go to the light world, kill the Lamolas, and then up to Turtle Rock. That's very solid routing, and for a runner, it's preferred routing because you get to go up from Turtle Rock to Ganon's Tower right away.
Yeah, it makes a nice smooth transition at the end there. And yeah, he's pretty much just got to ride out on execution at this point. Nothing more to find, nothing more to figure out. Just got to rely on his ability to beat the things that the game needs him to beat.
Indeed, Buane making a couple of full clear decisions here, and it's not biting him because of the fact that Fricker has also had to make those decisions. So not really a whole lot of time loss here, and Buane not really losing a lot of time by saving Desert Palace until he was able to go in and complete Misery Mire like this.
Yep, and on his part, Buane's decision, Buane's lead right now comes pretty much, among other things, a lot of it comes from that decision to route the purple chest into getting that Quake medallion just in case it was needed. That routing decision got him that ice rod, and that has put him in a much better position.
Indeed, finding that ice rod now, instead of having to search for it later, or even taking the Turtle Rock gamble on that, can be immensely helpful because of the fact that it's going to be one and done for TR. The ice rod can
no
be
spooky action on Buane's side.
yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, one and done for Turtle Rock. It's going to be a lot better. And unfortunately, Fricker22, still looking for that ice rod and that bow, is going to be clearing out all of this. Buane just got the big key and peaced out.
Yep, that's kind of the start of the time saves he's going to get at this point for having that ice rod already. Now we get to see Machine Gun Vitreous, a boss that the game purposely makes required to get the silver arrows in the vanilla game, because with them he's a joke.
There we go. Buane picking up crystal number 5, but very quickly going to turn around and grab number 6 here. All he's got to do is mirror to the light world and take care of the Lamolas. Be about 90 seconds start to finish, I would assume here.
Yeah, and with silver arrows for the Lambo is going to be a very, very quick fight as well, assuming that he gets all 3 hits right away.
Yes, indeed. So he came out of there at 137.50, so let's see how long this takes Buane. Meanwhile, Fricker is going through and just clearing everything out in Misery Mire, looking for things that unfortunately he will not find here. They're all outside, my friend.
He does get all the small keys, though. He's very tight on health before going to Vitreous here. And he also doesn't have those silver arrows since he didn't go to the Mire Shed first, so low health Vitreous with Master Sword and no bow is kind of worrisome.
Buane missing the first shot, gets the second, third ones, and then wraps it up with a fourth shot here. Nice and clean. So yeah, that was about a 90-second start to finish there. Between leaving Misery Mire and picking up crystal number 6.
So Fricker did try to do spooky action. For some reason, he must have been a little bit off on the setup, and the alignment was a little bit off because it did not work for him. So it just goes back to the old strat, so to speak.
I do like that name for that glitch, spooky action. It's vague, but it sounds really cool at the same time.
Agreed. I'm disappointed that because it's got other uses, the name Mire Rod couldn't really catch on. 'Cause I know when it first got discovered, that was a little bit of a thing that was coming up.
But spooky action just sounds so much more vague and terrifying. Like, what does it do? It's just spooky action, man. I don't know what it does.
Someone in chat is pointing out that he used a lamp on his way, which cleared out the altitude value that was set, and that's why it didn't work for him.
That makes sense. So why didn't Fricker check Mire Shed before heading into the dungeon? That's a good question. I'm not sure on that one. We have to ask after the game. Maybe just thinking that, you know, could be a risk versus reward kind of thing. I was thinking, oh, gonna be using the hammer here on Big Vitreous.
Oh dear lord, hammer strats on video when he can kill you in one hit are terrifying. Please don't die, Fricker.
You gotta get it precise here. He's doing good. Nicely done with the hammer strats. Very well executed.
Yeah, that was super clean. And meanwhile, Buane enters T-Rock. Gonna get to go mode it, which doesn't make much of a difference over not go moding, but it's a little bonus.
So yeah, Fricker will check the Mire Shed here and
He's going to be very annoyed in about 10 seconds.
Yep. Set your timers, everybody. Oh no, and he pushed the block over. Fricker, please go back in. Okay, good.
Okay,
So
he
10,
didn't say
10
no.
more seconds. 10 more seconds of frustration.
Now he's just even more frustrated. Like I not just didn't have this for Vitreous, but it was blocked. It deserves that one slash of anger.
Yeah, I had to come back in for that. Why did you make me do this game? So poor Fricker is still one item away from go mode. With 5 crystals. Eastern's gonna be an easy clear. But he's looking for Ice Rod. I would suspect he'll go to Eastern Palace looking for that off Armor's Knight drop. And unfortunately he won't find it.
Yeah, that's where he's headed, and then odds are he's going to make the bet on T-Rock. I don't see him making a bet on Purple Chest and Blacksmith over T-Rock for Ice Rod.
I don't see it either. He's going to do turn in. So we'll get to see what is on the Green Pendant. Mirror Shield. Oh, that's even going to push him more towards T-Rock. Are you kidding me?
Well, not necessarily. He already had the cape, which put Laser Bridge in logic, so the mirror is just kind of a redundant logic safety.
True, but that's also gonna be like, oh, well, are you sure you don't want to go check Laser Bridge? You can do it now without having to use the cape.
And Go Mode T-Rock rendered completely useless by a vanilla big key forcing you to open chests on Laser Bridge no matter what.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Fricker has not done the blacksmith sequence, so has not picked up the tempered sword, which is on Peg Cave. Has not picked up the go mode item he's looking for, Ice Rod, which is in the lunchbox.
Yeah, it's been kind of a double painful thing, because not only are you missing the most annoying to find item in the game, but you've been down a sword for a few dungeons now.
Indeed, and Buane is just barreling through. Turtle Rock here. So for those of you who might be thinking about, do not put your guesses in the chat yet, just because I'm talking about it. Okay, that doesn't mean just wait for the message that pops in here before you start putting your numbers in. But now's at least a good time to start thinking about it. Thinking, not typing. Thinking of where that GT. They're doing it on purpose now.
Yeah, they're absolutely doing it on purpose now. Chad, you're too predictable.
No, Chad. I love you guys.
So Fricker gonna get his big 20 off of the Armo soon and be faced with probably the most important decision of his run.
Indeed. And I would assume gonna go up to T-Rock. There's the Cannon Burn on Laser Bridge. Super useful. Half magic. Okay.
Yeah, not gonna complain about that one.
Red mail. Okay.
So the seed put that vanilla big key there, really just to be like, no, you don't want to miss this stuff. No, I'm not gonna let you.
The game is like, you know what? I have been cruel enough for this long. Here, have some good things. That's one of the most impressive laser bridges I've seen in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, like nothing really required, just everything was nice to have.
Are we sure that we didn't get transported to Hype Cave there? Is like Laser Bridge and Hype Cave a single entity, separate, sharing the same space?
And Fricker is making the play up to T-Rock, so he's going to be going through here, finding a lot of very nice stuff on Laser Bridge, just not the nice thing he actually wants to find.
Indeed. He'll be happy, but also at the same time completely disappointed. Meanwhile, Buane taking care of Trinex, getting the two heads taken care of, and now just the snack. Don't slash snack. Oh no, you slash snack.
Very nice fight there.
Oh, what was on bridge? Cannon Burna, half magic, mail upgrade. Good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Okay, so now is the time to do. Now we do it. Do the. Now you can put in your guesses in the chat. 1 through 22. Where could that big key be in Ganon's Tower?
And you don't have long, Chad, because we're headed right over to GT. What do you think it's going to be? What do you think we're going to find?
Well, Mentos Man, I always like to guess that it's going to be in Rando Room. Usually puts it in chest number 12, which is my lucky number. So I'll say number 12, specifically location, Rando Room. So I'm expecting a right side check and then a dip out. Where would you think it's going to be?
Sounds reasonable, and my guess is usually 22, because I love Tile Room.
You'll have Tile Room. Well, seen a few Tile Rooms so far in this tournament, so 1 and 2. No siree.
And no small key either, so he is forced to go left after the first two chests on the right.
Just a little bit of love on the torch. So away we go to the left side here.
Buane sees a little bit of love on the torch and shows Bob a little bit of love by letting him live.
Alright, locations number 4 through 7. There it is, number 4.
Number 4 it is, and Buane is headed up the tower now. Not much left to go.
Yes, indeed. So, if you guessed 4, congratulations. If you have 250 bits or a subscriber, or if you've donated 250 bits or a subscriber, you get to be on the magical wall of fame. If you're close enough. And if you aren't, you still get still get my warm affection. So congratulations.
Yeah, it looks like our winner was Corey Pro 21 with a guess of 6 as the closest supporter to the actual answer of 4. So good job, Corey.
Good job, Corey. Fricker's got a little bit of trouble here trying to get through the Chain Chomp room with only 4 hearts.
Chain Chomps are the worst enemy. They will always be the worst enemy.
Indeed.
Buane here making his way through the gauntlet pretty cleanly from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, everything looking good so far for Buane. Got that half magic. That red mail should be fairly well set to go ahead and finish this off in due time here.
Yeah, and in worst case scenario, he does still have that blue potion he bought way back when he thought about turning the mushroom in.
Yes, indeed. So we've got an almost full card here tonight on our trackers. Just missing the bloomerang and the bug nut, which both could still show up. Never know.
Yep, the bug nut could come up just in time for Aghanim too, but I doubt Buane will find it if that's the case.
Yep. Buane making his way through the 2 Wizard rooms here. Very satisfying rooms, as I always like to say. It's just so good when you get them just right. Kill them all at once there.
It is. I feel like the Samaria beam thing was designed specifically for those rooms.
I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. Or perhaps the other way around, the rooms were designed around the Samaria beam cane.
True. Those are just pretty much the only point where that beam is actually useful.
Indeed. Just like the fact that the only real logical place that you can bonk in this game, where it's required, is actually within the vanilla game. It's within that one secret room in Turtle Rock, in Ganon's Tower. It's the only way you get over there. There's the bloomerang. It's not Mimic Cave. So
look at that. Mimic Cave had the value.
Indeed, Buane will not get the full clear card tonight, but that's okay. He's got the lead. Killing off Moldorm too. Fricker's trying to hover the gap.
I approve of this action.
I think he knows he's down. Maybe he's just doing it for a little bit of enjoyment at this point. I think not finding that ice rod is probably put some kind of chomping at the back of his head right now, being like, okay, I might be behind by quite a bit here, but you know, it's best of 3. I can have a little bit of fun in game 1 if that's the case.
Yeah, and you're sitting there in the bracket stage. It's an hour and 53 minutes in. Your opponent hasn't done yet. You're in T-Rock looking for Ice Rod. You know that if you don't find it here, your opponent probably found it elsewhere, but they might be getting close to done.
Indeed. And as a runner, it's always the weirdest thing when you think, gosh, it's this late and my opponent hasn't done yet. What the heck is going on? Because you always feel like you're behind, and then you always feel like you're just waiting for that done to show up, and you're like, well, that's as expected, but never seems to come. So we need a 2-1-1-2 for Buane as he drops into Ganon here. Hey, we get some bug facts tonight.
You subscribe to Bug Facts. To unsubscribe, type Murder Ganon with Tempered Sword.
That's a long chain of words there. Oh, Fricker's gonna go ahead and check through everything that's here. Munch is asking, are we going to see games 2 and 3 tonight? Oh, and Fricker not going to be able to pick up that can of Burna. I don't think he's got the. I has to pick up the safety room, so he'll be able to pick that up right now. It depends on when they scheduled. earlier today we had games 1 and 2 for a different match, so they went back to back. Fricker and Buane are not scheduled to go back to back right now, as Buane is taking care of. Oh, Buane, be careful! Gotta be careful there. Oh, we got a triple!
There's the triple.
Oh my goodness!
GG Buane.
That is beautiful. Oh my goodness, Buane with the triple. Oh baby.
And as he walks through the door, he is finished with an official SRTV time of 1:55.08 to go up 1-0 in round 1 of the brackets. GG.
GG. And Fricker, it looks like. Let me see here. He stopped for a moment. And yeah, he has forfeited to end this race. Simply because of the fact, you're gonna go on to game 2. You're gonna go on to game 2 at this point. Might as well just kind of cut your losses and get ready to prep for that.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of places that Ice Rod could be. It's not like he just knows, okay, I just got to go here and then go to Ganon's Tower. He would have a lot of time left. And
I believe Buane and Fricker are going to be, I believe we should be pulling them into chat here in just a moment. Talk to them. Ice Rod was in... It was in the lunchbox chest.
Yeah, Buane routed that in on his way to grab the Quake medallion from Bombos before heading up to Dark Death Mountain. And that was pretty much the deciding factor of this run.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll just be waiting here for our runners to get pulled in. It's a very exciting seed. And first off, it looks like we have Buane here. Congratulations, Buane, on your victory tonight.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you.
So how you feeling after that seed?
Like I need a shower. That was a rough one.
Yeah, it sure was rough. Had you guys kind of bouncing all over the place looking for stuff, especially at the start there. And one thing that I wanted to ask you about very quickly, the Lumberjack Ledge check that you did very late there, kind of completed everything else around, still looking for a bunch of stuff, and ended up going to check Lumberjack Ledge late, and you get in there and you see that it's the Titan's Mitt. What are you thinking, realizing that at almost an hour in it's an Naga required seed?
Well, I don't know if I would have really done much different if I'd known about it from the start. I didn't have boots until I went into pod, and when I went into pod, I think there was only one other location left. So boots were basically second to last spot. And after I checked Bonk Rocks, there were only maybe 2 spots that it could be besides Aghanim. So I was pretty much expecting something to be up there, and the mitts made the most sense as I was headed up. So it wasn't exactly a surprise at that point that that's where the next piece of progression was.
Indeed, we got you. And Fricker has joined us as well. GG, Fricker.
Hey, thanks, GG.
So I did see you there at the end there in Turtle Rock trying to hover that gap. Was that just a YOLO kind of hover attempt there, getting over that small gap to the big chest?
Well, I already knew I was behind, so I was just kind of having fun, I guess. But I sometimes will do that if I'm going to try to hover Moldorm 2, just to kind of get a feel how my hover is for the day.
Ah, gotcha. That makes sense, actually. That's a good place to hover and get some experience there. By the way, the pedestal was an arrow upgrade, so that answers that question that we were wondering about earlier.
So to kind of clue you guys in on what I feel was one of the kind of big turning points in this race, when Buane got his mitts, he went to do the blacksmith chain down to get the Quake medallion before heading up to Dark Death Mountain. That resulted in him getting a tempered sword out of hammer pegs and the ice rod out of the purple chest. Fricker, you just never made it over to that area. because he had already known that the Quake was up there, it made for a really nice piece of routing that I really like to see. But that kind of gave him a definitive advantage at that point.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything less. I mean, couldn't find an ice route, and I just looked in all the wrong places, so I just never got over to where I wanted to be. And then just looking at the clock, it was like 1:40 or so, and I just made a play for T-Rock, and I'm like, well, I'm already way behind. So I made a gamble, and unfortunately, Ice Rod was not there. So even though it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but I still tried it anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely at that point, you know, it's a worthy gamble, especially because of the fact that I've seen just from watching races and running practice seeds myself that can certainly be a location. You can certainly find Ice Rod hiding out within T-Rock somewhere, especially on Laser Bridge. It really seems like to be there. But what was I going to say? Shoot, I forgot for a moment.
I think what helped me get the Ice Rod when I did is that I chose the 50-50 early on of go into Eastern or go into Desert. I hadn't done Desert at that point, and that helped me get a lot of the checks. I was able to find the Quake Medallion was up there on my way to Desert. I didn't have a sword at that point, but I knew the Quake Medallion was there, and the sea was really pointing towards that Quake Medallion being necessary. So once I picked up the gloves, it was kind of an easy choice. Hey, I'll do the Smith route. I'll go pick up my Quake Medallion, and I'll go flute up to Turtle Rock, because there's no way Turtle Rock is Bombos, right?
I was about to say, as you're talking about that, indeed, it was the one that you guys didn't even need tonight. You didn't need that Quake Medallion at all.
It felt like when I saw Bombos at Turtle Rock, I think I stared at the screen for what felt like 10 minutes. It was probably more like 10 seconds, but I was flabbergasted that it was not Quake.
Yeah, I think I made the same play. I went up to T-Rock with 2 medallions, and I'm like, okay, I should be fine.
Yeah, it feels
And
like the right play.
Slashes when I saw it was Bombos.
So I will apologize for that, because I did mention in chat, like, as we were commentating, I was saying, boy, wouldn't it be funny if Bombos was on Turtle Rock and neither of them could go inside?
I tell you what.
Indeed. Well, we were kind of noting that perhaps if that was the case, that would possibly send you Fricker to go check the places that Buane had just checked to get the Ice Rod and Tempered Sword. But it did push you both to check Ice Palace and then to continue on from there.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate seed. I feel like it kind of made it hard to route a little bit, but maybe that was just me.
This was the hardest seed that I've seen this tournament so far. I don't see a way to do this without basically 100%ing or coming close to 100% with the where the boots were, where the flute was, where the Ice Rod was. How do you manage to pick all that up in an efficient way? So it was really just. You were clearing everything. I think I had 2 locations that I never ended up checking when I hit go mode. So there's no way. There was no real good way to route this, I don't think.
Yeah, I probably had like 8 locations or so left on Overworld, but I chose all dungeons first.
Yeah, Fricker, you had that issue in Tower of Hera very early on where
that did not
you did the coffee break and got stuck.
Yeah,
and then you saved and quit out of there. Were you planning to go to Spiral Cave after completing that?
Absolutely was. And
yeah, that's what we thought.
Absolutely killed me.
That certainly did hurt quite a bit. Not have that mirror for as long as you were looking for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It is what it is, and at least this is best 2 out of 3, so it'll give me another chance to try to redeem myself. But things happen, and I had fun, and definitely a GG to my opponent for sure. So
yeah, GG to you as well. This was it's just getting started here.
Indeed. The nice thing about being best 2 out of 3 is that if you have a seed like this where it just kind of trolls you, it's not the end of your tournament. You're not dependent upon being stuck with one bad seed. It's you always have an opportunity to come back, and in Buane's case, you got to do this again to get that second win. It's not just hey, I routed 1 right. You got to route 2 right. and execute and all that stuff. So
Yeah, what are the chances we see another one like this, right? We're in the clear now.
Well, with
That's-
me, the
that's
chances
true. Well, maybe the rando gods will be a little bit kinder for race number 2. Which, by the way, if let me see here.
It is not scheduled yet, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay. I thought I saw it. On, I was mistaken there. I thought I saw it on the schedule.
No, we got a big jump on game 1, but haven't talked about game 2 yet.
Okay. So yeah, keep your eyes out for game 2 between Buane and Fricker. Buane up 1-0 right now, carrying that number 1 seed with pride. Buane.
Yeah, for whatever that's worth, I guess all roads lead through me. Home field advantage
Indeed.
throughout, whatever it means.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean the seeding obviously is just kind of it's not like, you know, the same as it would be in any other thing where number 1 seed is just a number 1 seed. It's just random draw, and poor Buane, after having to wait all that time to see that Fricker was his opponent, having to wait.
Yeah,
till
well,
the
hey,
end.
that
Fricker
was
had to
fun.
wait too.
That's true. That's true. So anything more that you guys wanted to mention before we wrap it up here?
Not just GG Fricker and you know, Mentos Neon. Thanks for the work. GTG, thanks for tracking. Everybody else who made it happy behind the scenes, and chat, thanks for watching. Hope you guys probably had fun with this one. I'm sure chat did.
Oh, chat was loving it. Loving watching you guys do your thing, and loving how the seed was kind of being trolly. But chat always likes those trolly seeds. I think we know that all too well. So absolutely give Fricker and Buane both a follow. They're excellent runners. To get this far in the tournament, you have to be good. You can't just rest on your laurels here. You got to have some kind of talent to get to the bracket stage here. So give them both a follow. And here's Fricker going to pick up that ice rod.
Yeah, I just finished it right now. So
Indeed.
yeah, GG once again to Buane. It was fun. I'll look forward to the next one, and thank you guys for the commentary.
Not a problem. Always happy to commentate these matches. You guys always put on a good show. And speaking of commentary and tracking, just want to say real quick shout out here to Mentos Man for being co-commentator. Thank you very much, my man. I know you've got a race that you have to go get ready for in a couple hours here, so good luck with that. And also a thank you to GTG for doing all the track work here. Didn't have a whole lot to do at the beginning there with all those bombs and rupees in the first couple chests, but business sure picked up after that. So thank you again, GTG. Anything you want to say, Mentos, as well? I will definitely leave the outro to you.
I'll throw a thank you back at you as well. It was a pleasure working with you. And a little bit of a shout out to the runners. I know the end time kind of seems pretty lopsided, but a lot of that race was spent pretty close together, with us not really sure who was going to take the advantages they had and push them into a win. So it was a very fun one to watch and follow along with. So thank you guys for putting up a fantastic show. And with that, as mentioned, the next race is, for those of you who are looking for more random to watch, the next race will be in just about 5 hours, which is my race with Dragon C0. Then we've got more rando a lot of the day Saturday. We got 10:30, Lyra, GG, and Nikki Noel. We got Glowing Mr. Zwanzig. We got Dustin and Ajneb. We got another match of Lyra and Nikki Noel. So they're going to be doing back-to-back. And that's just the stuff that starts through 1 p.m.
Yeah.
There's even more through the rest of the day.
It looks like
So
Dustin
if you're looking-
looks like Dustin and Ben are also going back to back too. They got a match at 2:30.
Okay, so we got twice the back-to-back races. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. This first stage of the brackets could take us up to 192 games. So there's still going to be a lot of random this week.
Yes, indeed. So keep your eyeballs peeled on the looking tube here for some more rando. And I'm Neon Tiger.
And I'm Mentos Man 8. Have a good night, everyone.